And we're back, everybody. Again, BigGunner81 Live, presented by Applied Arsenal Finishes and Gunworks. Our friends over at Eggleston Munitions. You can check out egglestonmunitions.com. Also from our friends over at Spinta Precision and the Range of 35. I'm probably forgetting someone else. I know Bad Arms has helped us out a lot in the past, too. I want to mention them. Yeah, we were gone for a couple weeks. Hope you all missed us a little bit, but we yeah, one week it was just I had to work late and so forth, couldn't do it, and then last week I was sick, so we postponed it again. So we're back anyway. So we're here. If you've been following along on Instagram on the channel here, some of the recent things I've been doing a lot of 3D printing. You know, kind of because one, it's a newer thing to me, but two, it's kind of allowed me to really access into the whole like CAD, CAM, whatever you want to call it, computer modeling design, I guess, and just take some ideas that I had in my head and create them into something that's actually real and tangible and so forth. I know I mentioned it past, a few weeks that we've had the show and everything about some of the things we were doing, and just kind of give you a couple of examples of some fun stuff we did recently. Printed out a 1911 here, just a blue gun. I wanted to have something to use as a display model. It's not perfect, I'll tell you that, because when you print a any type of pistol, pretty much just do the shape. And anytime you do 3D printing where there might be support material, which is basically material that's not really part of the model design, it's just there to kind of help support it as the printing process goes on. Because it basically, for those who haven't seen this operate or haven't watched the video, it basically just layers streams of plastic on top of plastic and just layers up, just like you're building a stack of playing cards or something. And so in that process, because of the shape of different things, like for example, if you were to print it like this, you'd have support material supporting all of this, and you need support material supporting everything above this area so you can build it up on a layer. So you can orientate these different ways. You could, like standing up kind of like this. You could flip it upside down, and try printing it this way. Problem with that is, in all the support material, when you go to peel it off, is on this end, and you'll see what I'm talking about on the back side. The not so pretty side of this pistol, this not honeycomb, but this little checkered pattern on it is where the support material was sitting underneath the pistol as it was being printed. It printed the support material, then it starts printing the layers of the pistol. And this is just a hollow piece of plastic, basically. There is what they call infill, like strands of plastic in between the outer perimeters of this design, but you can hear it. It's hollow, but it serves the purposes. I wanted to print one just for fun, and I also use as a display tool. For example, I kind of just started dubbing these Freedom Cradles. You've probably seen them on Facebook and Instagram and so forth. I've been taking a lot of photos of them. I just think it's a pretty cool idea. Basically, it's a universal pistol cradle. You can just set it right down in there. It's kind of not the best camera that I'm using right now because I'm using the one on the laptop, but it allows you to see most of the pistol, for the most part, especially if you're standing over it. Kind of turn it this way, maybe. Yeah, if it was down, you can still see the rest of the pistol. If you had it sitting on like a lower shelf, you'd see the rest of it. So it's a great display stand. Works with revolvers. You can put a Glock on here, put pretty much any type of pistol, that I've had access to lay on here, has sat in here perfectly. Now you might run into an issue possibly with a really, really long barrel or something, maybe. Just depends, I suppose, on there might be some that won't work real well, probably, but for most any pistol, you should be pretty good with it. 1911, depending how you lay it in here, if it's a really long slide and everything, and maybe you have a fletted mag well, you might barely almost touch the surface that it's sitting on. Otherwise, it kind of lifts it off the surface as well. And of course, got these in the nice red, white, and blue. sell them as a pack too as well. The cool thing about it is, you notice it has the American flag logo on the front, obviously on this one. But our friend Brandon, who's with us tonight, and by the way, we'll go ahead and introduce everybody in just a second. Brandon had an idea to do one. He said, "Hey, I'd like to do a don't try me the Gadsden flag style." I had to do some playing around with this. I'm gonna have to hold this still to get it to see if it'll focus on it. There we go. This was a little bit tricky because of the snake and all the details in the snake and everything. The actual Gadsden flag with text at the bottom, the snake was too small and the print wouldn't turn out very well. I had to do some different layering and stuff to make this work. The 3 areas between the coils on the snake, I had to inlay a little deeper into the material just to kind of make it pop a little bit better. But overall, I think it came out pretty cool. This yellow is very much a neon yellow, though. It's not like a golden yellow. It's like a neon yellow. So if you have a black light, it fluoresces really well. So anyway, in the house with us tonight, we got TJ, Lead Slinging Ginger, with us. Welcome, TJ.
What is going on, everybody?
Besides the meltdown of gun channels on YouTube, which we'll talk about in a little while. Not a whole lot, I guess.
Yeah, I picked a hell of a time to start a channel, didn't I?
Yes, you did. I felt the same way when I started mine for different reasons. But anyway, we got Kent in the house with us from Green Mountain Defense. Welcome, Kent.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Good, good. And we got Corey from Southern Style Beards rocking the grunt style / right on optics shirt.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Right on and tier 1 concealed over here.
There you go. Welcome. And we got Brandon in the house as well, too. So, welcome. We don't have a whole lot of strong topics. We kind of talk about some different things, but just kind of see where our chat goes tonight. As we kind of do this unprepared, I guess, most weeks anyway. Just kind of throw out some different ideas and just kind of go with them and see how it goes. One of the things I know, TJ, we were just kind of hinting on a little bit was the whole gun channel thing. I guess there's some new, I started seeing some of the different things people are posting up about different restrictions on what you can post now on YouTube, of course. Someone was saying, 30 round magazines. Well, you read the text, it's something like anything over a 30 round magazine, I believe, is one of the rules.
Yeah, but where they get you with that is if you look at the other rules where it says showing people how to attach the above mentioned accessories, simply having, so like I show a reload in one of my shooting videos, and I have just displayed and demonstrated how to attach a magazine to a firearm. There's way too much leeway that YouTube gave themselves for this.
Yeah, so, that sounds true. I mean, I know I saw like you reloading, and that was an issue.
Yeah. So there goes my idea for my Dylan video that I was planning.
They took down my video about how to manufacture a 30 caliber ghost gun with a clip shoulder that goes up. So
is that the one? Is that the one with the Velociraptor attachment?
No, it's the T-Rex.
Oh, okay.
Hey, they do have a Velociraptor from Atlas Defense. You've seen that, right? Yes, that's what I was making sure that you're talking about. Which
not to break in, but did you say that they're not allowing reloading videos as well?
That's correct. They're saying about manufacturing ammunition and stuff.
Oh, bummer.
Your mic's a little bit soft, by the way. I don't know if it's off to the side or not. Just let you know.
Yeah, Johnny's Reloading Bench is a channel that I subscribe to. His entire channel is, as the name implies, is nothing but reloading. So yeah.
That's one of my concerns too. Is obviously I have a bunch of videos out there. Should I go back and start taking some of those down or making them not public anymore because of this?
Well, I mean, you guys follow Mac and Hank Strange. Even if they privatize them, they still get a strike against them. So what good is that going to do? Yeah, it happened to Mac.
You have to delete the video altogether.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that sucks.
Here's my take on it. I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm not going to let these cocksuckers silence me. I get it. They are a private company. They have the freedom to do what they want.
We're playing in their playing field.
Exactly. I'm not going to buckle because they don't like the position that I take on certain things. Just like if I hosted if I had, TJ Tube and I didn't like, anti-gunners, I wouldn't expect them to bow down to that, because you can bet your ass that they're not going to anyway, even if we did. If the tables were turned and YouTube even went against like that douchebag hog, Kermit the Hog. I'm glad you
What
guys.
Is that?
Yeah, Kermit the Hog. You know that douchebag that they got on that CNN's got their hand up his ass working like a puppet.
The 37-year-old kid who was at the shooting because he's a student.
Yeah. So
yeah, that kid.
But rest assured, if the tables were turned and YouTube was trying to silence that side of the argument, people like him wouldn't be keeping quiet. If anything, they'd raise a bigger stink about it.
Right. So
I'm not gonna bow down to it. I'm gonna keep doing my thing. There is nothing on my channel, and Rick, your channel included, and Kent, same with yours. I don't see anything on there that is inciting violence, is racist or bigoted, or even what might fall into the category of
all guns matter,
taboo.
man.
No, but even still, we're not preaching any type of hate speech or anything like that. We're not even showing. Honestly, I have never seen a video that has actually shown how to convert a firearm to a full auto.
I did see one actually. Let me back that up. It wasn't an actual how-to. It was like showing how it operated and showing like what was done to it in a sense, but not this is what you got to mill out to this spec or anything like that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's plenty of videos about the engineering aspects of a fully automatic weapon. But as far as, okay, guys, you take this part out, you file this down, change this around, you flip this backwards, whatever have you. There's nothing like that out there, at least that I've seen.
I think I have actually seen one about the lightning link. Not like a lightning link is a little different, but it's been a while since I really looked into one to see how it was just personal research of what it does and how it worked. But I don't know if you've ever seen that. People are talking about you can take a hacksaw blade and make one of these things. Basically,
I don't know, but I got a fine file on my multi-tool, and by midnight, Green Mountain Defense is going to have a video out on how to fuck up your AR. I'll teach you how.
It's like as I like to tell people, I've got a Dremel and a bastard file. I'm practically a master gunsmith.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of just like, Kermit the Hog was there to help Hillary Clinton up when she sadly broke her ankle or wrist from the bathtub overseas. So,
well, osteoporosis is a motherfucker, man. What do you expect?
They're over there preaching school safety in the Middle East. So where'd they get the funds for that? The Clinton Foundation.
Oh, hold on.
It takes a village.
Hold on. Speaking school safety, I'm gonna hit real quick, just like a minute and a half, maybe less. I don't know the man's name, but somewhere in Maryland, there's a deputy who stopped the school shooting today. Did we hear this? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Our man was a SWAT cop, was trained up, closed with, and destroyed that little son of a bitch and stopped that, and then started busting out tourniquets, and that's why there is no body count. So I don't know who that guy is, but hell yeah.
As a matter of fact, yeah, his pictures haven't been scrolling all through social media. I'm going to let me find his picture and his name, and we will give him mad props on the channel.
I want to send him a beer. Just one.
Nice.
This is going to take a minute. You guys talk amongst
yourselves. That's fine. I got something else we could cover real quick while you're looking that up. One of the things that now it's like, hey, can I do this on my YouTube channel now? Because they're showing how to construct, an AR-15 or whatever. This is something I'm working on. It's not totally assembled, just loosely assembled. Laura's PCC that we've been building. Got a Hogue handguard on here. Hogue grip, Hogue stock. And of course, spin to precision barrel, 9mm barrel, and one of their muzzle brakes, or whatever you call it. I guess is a muzzle device, if you want to call it that. But this is actually pretty cool. I like the knurling on it. Something kind of a little different. I thought the lines on this, and I'm trying to hold it a little steadier so you can see it, so it's not as blurred. But the lines on this muzzle brake, what do I call it? Just the way they flow, kind of horizontal, kind of line up a little bit with the whole thing with this handguard, with the lines going forward. Even though they're a little bit different shape, it's very similar. It looks really cool. I like it.
By the way, Blaine Gaskill, Officer Blaine Gaskill. That is awesome. That is the officer's name. So hats off to you, Officer Gaskill. God bless you. Thank you for your swift and decisive action.
Right on.
Yes, sir. Nice work, man. Here's to you. Good job.
He was a school resource officer too, the same type of guy that didn't do his job in Florida, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, everything I've seen on that with the Florida, the Broward County Sheriff's Office, there's a lot of problems with that department. I'm sure there's a lot of good cops in that department, but because their HQ is all dicked up, all these good guys, they're not going to be able to do anything or have any change for the positive. So I've said it before and I say it again. Israel, you need to step down and resign. So
yeah, it's just amazing to me. I mean, here we talk about all this stuff about medical, about training, about what to do. We had tourniquet use, and we had a honest to God hero with a firearm, and he stopped the madness. Mm-hmm. I about cried today when I heard that they busted out tourniquets, and that's the reason that little girl and that little boy are still alive.
That's awesome.
And
hell yeah.
I've even, I don't say this often and I don't say it lightly, but CNN has actually given proper props on this one. Lone resource officers' quick action stopped the Maryland school shooter within seconds. Let that sink in.
Yep. It just shows what one man or what one woman correctly trained and correctly equipped can do.
Yeah. But and that's why this story will waft away like a fart in a hurricane.
Not five anything to do about it. I'm gonna fart right back into that hurricane.
Oh God.
You can't take us anywhere, Rick.
No, definitely not. Welcome to the power of the interwebs. Yeah. Something though. I check out and see what kind of deals there are on gun.deals as well, if you guys want. One of the things I like to look at once in a while, kind of like window shopping. Let's see if I can pull it up on my screen here. Go back and do a screen share. Hopefully you guys all see this. No, there's no sponsorship of any type with gun.deals. It used to be slickguns.com. They changed the name for some reason, and it's basically like a site for whatever the hot trending deals are right now in the gun world, whether it's ammo or pistols, rifles, shotguns, accessories, whatever.
And what site is that, Rick? I didn't say the name of it.
Gun.deals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's all it is. Basically, and there'll be some stupid stuff on here too that people throw up on the site. But there's some cool things too. Like here's some Palmetto State Armory has, with a rebate, I guess. Some 223 for like 27 cents a round. You can always read between the lines too and see what really is the best deal and what's not. Because sometimes shipping, like you got to consider the shipping factor if it's figured into that price or not, things like that. ETS snags for $13.50 from Bowtech. Scrolling
There's
through.
a CZ Shadow 2 for $9.99. Damn.
Yep, that was one of the next things I was going to say. I don't know if I passed it yet or not. Did I?
Ever held one of those?
That's it.
Yes.
That Shadow 2 is pretty sweet. You know, I like my Tanfoglio / Rock Island Armory. That thing just I love it. You know, I think once I could find a holster for it, I might even just end up actually 3D printing one just for fun, just to make something for now. But I'd like to get a holster for it for competition use. Fortunately, our friends over at Aries Tactical don't have one to use yet as a mold. I could try to like maybe 3D print one, and even with that, the question is with the heat and the pressure that's required to mold it, it might not work with a, you know, because it's thermoplastic. It might soften it or something and kind of distort it. But I don't know. Here you go too. Yay, Tanfoglio Witness polymer. That's a polymer version, 265, and that's a bargain. Those guns.
Okay, and real quick, because I'm pretty sure someone's going to raise a flag on this one. Listen, people. Yes, you see firearms listed on a website for sale. They don't get shipped directly to your house. Okay? When
Right.
you buy a gun online, it gets sent to a federal firearms licensed dealer where a proper background check is conducted.
That's correct. Yeah, you can't, as a private individual.
I'm sorry, that's one of the things that probably pisses me off the most is that the way they throw around the term gun show loophole, internet
gun show
loophole.
loophole.
It's not
you
a
can
loophole.
buy it online. You can buy an assault rifle online. Yeah, you can buy one online, but you can't take delivery of it online. You can't take delivery of it in the mail to your house. It has to go to a licensed dealer who does a background check on you.
Exactly.
People don't get that. I explain it to many people, and they're like, well, the news says, you know, this is what they tell us all the time. Yeah, well, the news is very skewed today. Think about it.
They also told her there wasn't a shooter on the grassy knoll.
Yeah, you know, it's like basically it's more entertainment and ratings than it's just like anything. Money corrupts things, right? So, you know, you have to sell something to make money, and they don't necessarily sell the truth. They sell news. What's shocking and
I wouldn't even call it
attention. Right? It's not. I'm just using that blanket term because that's what it's supposed to be, but it's really not. It's a twisted view of it that gets ratings, and they look for what they want to look for, and not what's going on in the world. Put it this way: if we believed everything that was on the news as to be like that's pretty much a sample of what's going on around us, you would think the world's a worse place than it is. For the most part, we've got a lot of good people in this world. If we didn't, we'd be living in hell. Period. You know, just period. That'd be it. So news is a very frustrating thing when I say news or media on, you know, television media and so forth, you know, because it's just lots of lies and BS and twisting the truth. It's like, you know, trying to serve its own agenda.
Yeah, and that's the sad thing. Like, we can't even call it, like, you know, obviously a lot of people throw out the fake news thing to quote the president. But
right.
The sad thing is it's not even fake. It is based somewhat in reality. They just cover it in bullshit.
Right. It may be based, like you said, it's like here's an event, but here's our view on it. Like, there's so many memes out there that you can find where, like, you know, the slanted view of, like, say, a protest where they make it look like there's 100 million people there, but it's just a small window of like 10 people there in a small window, and they you know, get them all together real tightly close together and give you that skewed perception. You know, in Illinois, we had something called IGOLD, Illinois Gun Owners. I can't think of all the whole acronym anymore off the top of my head. Anyway, they have basically a rally in Springfield, the capital, every year. And, you know, if you find an anti-gun protest, yeah, like 10 people standing around, maybe 20 people, whatever. This has hundreds of people, you know, marching through the state capitol. And and having this big meeting for gun rights, but it doesn't get televised. Yet there's people there, on YouTube showing all the people that are around walking, showing a real full perspective of it. And I mean, literally there's people with buses, loads of people going down there each year, but you don't see it on the news. It's like, they want to show only what they want to show. And that doesn't sell anybody anything. It's like, a bunch of stupid gun owners. We're not going to show that.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad when we're more apt to trust some like snot-nosed kid with a cell phone video.
Yes.
Than we are grown-ass adults.
Well, it's not just snot-nosed kids either. It's grown-ass adults that are showing video as well, There was one not too long ago. I was watching something somebody posted up where they had, it was in Illinois, because I still follow a lot of stuff in Illinois because that's where I came from, now to North Carolina. Local gun show, they were talking about, we're going to have all these anti-gun protesters out here and stuff and everything. And, all the gun rights people, they handle themselves very well and upstanding. I mean, they weren't like being violent or anything or yelling and screaming at each other. They were just offering, here, this is my point of view. Let's talk about it, And the other people are, but it is what it is. There was even a write-up where this lady wrote up this thing about how she went there and she had some issue with something, and like some couple of, pro-gun people helped her out and everything while she was there, and it kind of made her see a different light of that side of things.
You know what? There is a documentary that I just watched recently that I want to recommend to you guys. I want to say, hold on, I want to make sure I got the name right. So it's a documentary on Amazon. It's free if you have a Prime account. It's called Keep and Bear.
I got a Prime.
Yeah, but it's called Keep and Bear. It's by, I think, Doan Family Films. I hope I'm saying his name right. But I actually reached out to them on social media just to tell him what a great job I think he did with his documentary. But essentially, just a premise of the film. The maker of the film, Darren, is not necessarily anti-gun. He is pro-gun, actually, but he openly admitted his legitimate ignorance to the topic. And moving from California, a place where guns are, few and far between, to more rural America, he was immersed into, a community that actually believed in firearms. So the movie is about the documentary is about his quest to educate himself on firearms and choose a firearm for defending himself and his family. And it's very well put together, very unbiased on either side. He doesn't openly attack, anti-gunners, and he doesn't openly, defend like pro-gunners. He's just a guy that wants to defend his family. So certainly recommend you guys checking that out.
Cool. Now, what was it? What was this guy's name again?
His name is Darren Doan, Doane. The title of the documentary is Keep and Bear.
Okay, I'll check it out. By the way, I stopped here on this page because as you can see the high point. Get a high point carbine for under $300 with free shipping and handling and firearms.
I'd rather you 3D print me something drunk tomorrow night.
Nice. I thought about it'd be kind of fun just to try one, just because I'm curious. But it's like, who
You want to know what it feels like to go blind because this thing has an out of battery detonation in your face? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't want to know that part. That's why I got to wear iPro too to help out with that kind of stuff. It says plus P rated though to accept all factory ammunition.
Which one are you guys talking about? I was responding to the chat.
Oh, it's on a High Point 995 TS.
All seriousness, the High Point carbine or their PCC is actually pretty badass for a carbine. I will take one of their carbines over one of their pistols any day of the week, but their carbines are actually pretty legit.
So I was just gonna say, shout out to our friends over on YouTube. I'm glad you mentioned that. As you can probably see, if I'm still screen sharing, I don't know if you all see it or not, or if it's still stuck on. Yeah, you do. It's our friend Second Amendment Patriot and Squibload out there watching. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Go back to this list. I'm sorry. So we get 1022 stainless synthetic. Yeah, $200, not too bad. And this has got two free 25-round mags. That's not a bad deal. I think that the lowest cost I've gotten one for was around $170 after a couple rebates and things through Cabela's. And that didn't have 2 of the 25-round mags. What else we got?
Yeah. By the way, Rick, this is also on the new anti-gun policies for YouTube.
Oh yeah, not being able to window shop.
Well, no, even posting a link in your description to a place that might sell the.
Oh, I'm not posting a link in the description though.
Yeah, but you can't even give a shout out anymore.
Oh, well, fuck it. That's all I can say.
On the internet, YouTube watches you.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yes. I had a friend who used to say, yeah, he goes, I used to go home instead of watching TV, TV watches me. I'm like, you think about it. Yeah. Smart TVs do.
Some really trippy shit is when you aren't even searching for something and you're you're talking to your wife. Yeah, honey, I was looking at that new Chevy pickup truck. And you go to look at your phone,
come on,
and it's already on your phone.
Well, there's also that geofencing marketing too. I can't really talk too much about this, but from what I know, but companies can for example, set up a fence perimeter for marketing, so that say you're going to a competitor's store, you can put this geofencer on this competitor's store. And the ads will come up on your phone, your email, whatever. They'll kind of say, hey, hey, check out our stuff to help lure you back away from that competitor. Pretty interesting concept. How much, the world of marketing and technology is being used. I almost want to say misused, but it's being used properly for the purpose that it's being used for. But is it really the proper way to do things? I mean, it just seems like overreaching into our personal lives.
Big brother, man. They're watching you.
Yes, the NSA is watching.
All right, so here's the thing. So our dear friend, Second Amendment Patriot, actually brought up an interesting point. We've discussed this on the show previously, talking about alternatives to YouTube, right? So
yep.
Quote unquote GunTube, Full30.com, great sites. That's awesome. But here's the thing. That's like preaching to the choir. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. And Full30 hasn't opened up yet. So where everyone can join it.
It has not. I've been paying close attention to it.
Yep. I've been trying to get Tim on here too to talk with him about that.
Yeah. So if we isolate ourselves to the deepest reaches of the internet and we have our own little corner, we're already talking to people that are pro-gun. The thing about YouTube, right, and that is one of the great things about YouTube, is it is a true melting pot. It is an absolute representation of society. I would even argue more accurate than any current media news poll. But there are anti-gunners, and then you've got obviously the pro-gunners. Those of us sitting here at the table and on the chat here. But there's a population of people that are on the fence, if you will. They're in between. They're not necessarily anti-gun, but they're not necessarily pro-gun. Those are the people that we need to try to reach.
That's like the easiest ones to help persuade.
Well, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't even care to persuade them at this point. I want to give them, at least it's my goal, I want to give them proper information to allow them to make an intelligent decision.
Yeah, that's fair enough, right?
If you're going to be anti-gun, but for God's sake, know why.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're going to be pro-gun, be pro-gun, but for God's sake, know why. And I'm sorry, simply stating "shall not be infringed" is not a good reason, right? That's
right.
That's not an argument. Okay, you
What
have
if
to
I
have
can I slam my fist and yell "my rights"?
my rights.
My rights.
Yeah, you beat on that desk all you want there, Kent.
As far as other alternatives, have anybody thought about Vimeo? Because that's the biggest, in my mind, video alternative that's for free. And I just checked out their stuff, and it doesn't say a whole lot about.
I looked it up this morning. Again, looking for alternatives. Even trying to post it, you're not going to be able to post a video that's worth a shit. You know, a 20-minute video, you have to have their $50 a month plan in order to have that kind of data hosted. Now, if you can swing that, if you've got enough of a channel base, and they do have some sort of monetization, they call it a tip jar. So kind of like how when you have certain features with YouTube enabled, you know, people can donate money right there into your channel. So Vimeo does have that, but if you don't have a user base that's going to help you offset that cost, because making videos, just even on YouTube, for most people a loss. I mean, Rick, you experience that you talk about that all the time when you talk about going to SHOT Show.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you know, doing stuff like that is a net loss.
You can easily drop a couple grand trying to go to Vegas, and yeah, you don't make that up in a whole year of videoing stuff.
Right.
This is a labor of love, you know. Which, by the way, kind of unrelated, as I was surfing through here, I noticed this Colt competition AR-15 build kit. I thought that was kind of ironic. I mean, I know Colt's had its issues. It's like, okay, so now we're just gonna.
That's it. I'm flagging this video.
What's that?
That's it. I'm flagging this video.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm like, the Colt competition build. I'm thinking, hey, do they just throw their hands up there and say, "Fuck it, we're basically gonna sell a low-cost AR and just not put it together for you, so you can build it yourself."
They fired all the guys on the factory floor, so you put it together your damn self.
Like we can get it machined, which most of those parts come from different manufacturers. I mean, there's stuff that I've heard in things about different parts of that whole, you know, kit, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. You know, and the companies that produce it, because, you know, I wouldn't say a little known fact, because a lot of people in the gun industry know this, but a lot of times, I mean, and it makes sense too that like Company X doesn't manufacture all the parts for their, you know, Company X rifle. You know, a lot of the parts come from different places because there's different manufacturers that specialize in different components.
I was actually surprised to hear that Mossberg actually makes a lot of the barrels out there.
Yeah, I think
AR-15 barrels. Too. They make a shit ton of barrels for different AR-15 manufacturers.
Now, I've been to companies like that manufacture barrels. You know, I did a video with one particularly out in Minnesota, which they don't. I mean, they have their own little. I say little. Like their name, if you were to search for it, you'll find some stuff on their actual product, but majority of what they're selling is to bigger manufacturers. I mean, they're running off, you know, thousands of barrels or whatever, and they're getting sold to bigger companies that are assembling rifles with their barrel, you know, built to whatever specs that need to be built to, you know. Well,
but see, that's one of the good things about like SAMI specifications, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it's a construct, or it's a standardization of parts. So if I don't really care. I mean, Mossberg actually does make pretty decent stuff. So it's not like you're getting out of spec parts. So I don't care. If they make, as long as it's within spec, then it's going to perform the exact same.
Oh, I was just browsing through the knife stuff here too. Something I was playing around with. I have this Ruko Shark knife, and it has a little tiny G10 like grip pad on it. And I decided I wanted to replicate one, not replicate it, but make my own version and just 3D print it. So I came up with took a couple measurements and stuff, and ended up 3D printing it and it actually fit. And I was surprised on the first try that it actually worked. So something I'm working on is making an actual style I want to use and actually 3D printing it, which thin material is a little more of a challenge on it. But something I just kind of thought of I was going to share with you all. I got to post up photo of it later once I get it, completed, and it's actually the final version of it, so to speak. All the cool stuff you can do with it, though. Yeah, so I guess promoting a website that has deals on firearms is probably against the rules now, and we'll probably get our channel taken away from us, but it is what it is.
You guys want to see something cool?
That sounds like a loaded question, pun intended.
This is a good one. I made a purchase this weekend.
Oh, snap.
And, yeah.
Oh, nice. You got a nice safe. Cool.
Oh, yeah. Picked up a Liberty Fat Boy because, I'm a fat boy.
So did you put this on like the second floor of your house?
I put it in the basement of the new house.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. That was fun. It involved my 70-year-old uncle, a 2x4, some block and tackle, and a very long ramp.
So after you pushed your uncle down the stairs with the 2x4, you used him as a ramp to get the safe. That's so cruel, Kent. Jesus.
Hey, at least the nice thing is usually that front door will come off the safe, right?
What?
That front door comes off the safe, right?
Shit, does
it? You moved it with it on it?
Yeah.
Most of the time they're designed where you can remove the front doors off of the safe. You pull the hinges out or whatever you gotta do, and you can pull them off. It's a heavy piece, no doubt, but it takes a good chunk of the weight off of it.
Boy, those boys are gonna be pissed at me.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't. I learned that one day.
We just sent it down the stairs, man. It worked though. So.
Nice. That's cool. Congrats.
Yeah, man.
I thought it was gonna be a cool gun, but yes, storage is good too, right? You're gonna need some.
Yeah.
Well, I'm working on some storage solutions, by the way.
I was gonna actually mention to you, I need a pistol rack 3D printed.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. I can do that. I got to design one. Tell me how many you want and what size you want it to be, and I can design it for you. And if you want a Green Mountain Defense logo in it, I can do that too.
Oh yes.
You just gotta send me the artwork for it. Yeah, just send me the artwork for it, and we'll figure it out.
All right, I'll get out an orange crayon and a napkin, and I'll scan you something here in a minute.
I guess my camera decided to stop working again. Oh well. That's the problem with this one, this laptop. It comes and goes. Yeah, no, definitely that's something I've been looking at. Actually, I have some ideas. I can't really talk about them just yet because I don't want to give them away until I get the designs down, and it might be something that's really a good idea. But it's going to be a storage solution option that's going to be customizable.
Yeah,
pretty much all I'm going to say, but I can definitely, you give me an idea what you want to make, I can make something up. As long as it's within a reasonable size, and if it's not, I could probably section it and make it so you can put it together, like in 2 pieces or something.
I was looking at what they sell, and I was just thinking to myself, man, I'll bet Rick could make this look a lot cooler.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, granted, it is 3D printed, so you get like lines in the plastic. It's not like, a solid injection mold, and things like that.
Yeah, but the alternative is just like a black wire rack. So
yeah, exactly. That's the way I look at it. Like you can get some cool things out there, but really, ultimately the benefit and drawback. 3D printing is slow. It takes a long time to do, right? But injection molds are really, really expensive. To try to buy an injection mold and have to pay someone with the machines to be able to produce a part. And then when that design is made, it's a final design. You can't like tweak it or make an adjustment to it, or, for example, add a custom graphic to it, unless you want to spray it, paint it on the front of it or some crap or something like that. But to actually mold it with in there, like 3D printing, like having the Gadsden flag, or whatever, I can take that same stand and I can make it whatever colors I want that I have material available for, and I can change the graphic on it and customize it. In fact, I didn't get to set up on Gun Channels tonight, but I had someone from Gun Channels asking me about putting the Gun Channels logo onto it. Yeah. By the way, I was just reading what was written out here on the live chat. Which, for those who don't know, there's live chat on gun channels too. I didn't get to set it up tonight though, with the live stream there. But for those that are watching this after it's been recorded, if you watch it live, you can actually chat with us on the live chat that is out there. Second Amendment Patriot said, "Beginner search for devices on Windows, find input/recording. Should pull up your camera, otherwise you just need to update drivers." I've had some issues with it where, like, if I when I had the case apart on it one day, reseated the connector on the camera, it started working. Before that wouldn't work. I think I have the hunch that it might actually be a hardware issue with, like, maybe the wiring, which that goes to the hinges on the laptop, because I've used this thing a million times. And what else we got? Oh, yeah, he's talking about hauling your safe. He goes, yeah, I had to haul one of these about 3 years ago, and they're tanks. Yeah, I mean, I helped move a small version of one once. Yeah, and there's a lot of weight to them, with safes. One of the things I'll comment on that too, the fire safe part of it, the material, I mean, it's depending on what safe you get, of course, and everything, but like the material is almost like a drywall, from my understanding, what I kind of saw. It's like a and that stuff weighs a lot. So not only you have the heavy steel, frame of it, but you also have this material inside of it too that weighs this thing down.
In hindsight, I probably should have taken all the guns out before we carried it downstairs.
Yeah, it's like my ammo cans.
Yeah.
That's
we had quite the endeavor taking that safe downstairs.
So how many people were injured in the process?
0.
Nice. No tourniquets needed on that one.
No, dude, the block and tackle, man. My 70-year-old farm boy uncle rolled in with 50-year-old block and tackle.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just sometimes it is just using the proper ingenuity of how to get things done. Like I moved a what was it? Laura bought this big, like, I don't know if you call it a dresser. I guess it's a dresser. It's like a really long, wide one that has like a mirror thing for the top of it. And it's just me and her here, and we're like, one day she wasn't here, and I took all the drawers out of it. I moved it up the stairs myself. And this thing's really long. I'm just like, how do you get upstairs? I'm like, just rotated it all the way up the stairs. Got up on edge and just kept flipping it on top of itself, carefully putting it down, not to break it or damage anything. Same way you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Just go with it slowly and be careful. And hope you don't get in a position where you get stuck, where you're like, oh crap, if I move, I'm going to drop this thing down the stairs and on myself. But just deal with it.
We had a moment where we ran out of rope on the block and tackle 2 feet from the bottom of the stairs, and we couldn't pull it back up the stairs, so we had to attach a second come-along winch to it and pull it up to get a longer rope.
Oh, wow.
That was a scary moment.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. But anyway, I can highly recommend Liberty Safes. I'm really impressed with the product.
Nice.
You know what else I can highly recommend? Their $500 delivery and install charge. I could have drank a beer and watched them boys done it.
Well,
Exactly. Then also, if something gets damaged in the process, it's probably going to be on them, I imagine, or insurance of some type.
So
Yep.
now that you got a new safe, what all are you gonna put in it? Got some new stuff to put in, or gonna get some new stuff to put in?
All his guns all the stuff got lost in a boating accident, so I don't really know why he needs a safe anyway.
Yeah, I know. Well, being that I don't even know, like, if I've said this on the show yet, but being that I'm moving from Vermont to the great state of Pennsylvania. And,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, moving home. But there's this place called New York between here and there. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, that place sucks.
Yeah, so I didn't bring any guns. I just brought a lot of metallic parts in my trailer. Yeah. And I had to airmail about 7 billion magazines.
Wow, that's a lot of magazines.
Okay, maybe.
Speaking of which, too, I know I can't show it on my camera now because my camera's not working, but I I know we've talked about the Men2 mags a few times. I did a video on their AR mags where we blew holes through it with the AR and still ran and whatnot, and drove it over my truck. And they just started coming out with Glock mags. Laura got some for her Glock 43, which she did a video on, and they run perfectly fine. Nice, solid mags. I like them. So I just ordered some myself for my Glock 19. Which I'm anxious to get out to the range with. If you're watching on Instagram and Facebook, I've got some photos of it. Basically, I have a Glock 19 I use for carry, purposes, and then I have a Glock 19 that I kind of call my hot rod Glock 19. It's the one that I want to modify and play with and really get into the inner workings of and whatnot. And that one, I bought it as just a stock frame, brand new. There's a company out in Illinois that basically parts out, the Glocks, take the slide off and the barrel or whatever, and sells the cases and the mags and everything all separate, and sells the complete pistol loader. So anyway, what I was gonna say is I bought these M2 mags to run with it. Man, sorry, I don't know if you guys hear that. I'm buzzing on my phone. So anyway, that pistol, I got to do a video on it at some point, but to kind of show all the cool features of it. But it's got an LTD combat slide. It's one of their new Catalyst slides, which has an RMR cut on it already. And I'd love to add an RMR to it. Cabela's just had a deal on it. I kind of waited too long on. They were around like $350, I think, for an RMR, which is a pretty awesome deal. It looked like from what I was seeing anyway. And it's got a spin to precision barrel and a couple parts from Crux Ord, which is their recoil. It's basically a fluted recoil guide rod and a recoil spring, and also their extended mag release. I want to find a nice trigger for it too, and at some point maybe even do some custom work like undercuts and stippling type stuff to it. But I'm anxious to try out these Men2 mags with it, and also the mag spacer that I made that basically allows you to have a kind of basically fills the gap between the Glock 17 mags and the Glock 19 frame. Makes it kind of look like a 19X, I guess, in a sense. So I built made that adapter spacer, what I call it. And one of the things I noticed in the first couple trial runs of making that was that it would work with the Glock mags, but then it would not work with the Magpul mags. So I had to make some modifications to the design, and they work awesome with both now. But I don't have any other mags to try out, such as the Men2 or any other ones that are out there. They're aftermarket Glock mags. So I'm anxious to find out if the Men2 mags will work properly with that spacer that I designed or not. And we'll find out. Which I also started making them in different colors, which was kind of a neat thing because, like, for example, make them in red or blue, and have that kind of like the blue line style for like law enforcement, or red for firefighters and all that kind of stuff. I just thought it was kind of neat. So anyway, kind of go off on a rambling tangent, and so forth. And hey, Trey from Ghost Tactical, he's out there watching too. Give him a shout out as well. What's the best barrel for an AR pistol build? That's a great question.
What caliber?
Yeah, he says looking for a 7-inch. I mean, yeah, that's the question. What caliber? I tell you what, I like Spender Precision's barrels. They're really good price points. That's what I'm looking at getting for my next 9mm, AR pistol build. Actually, I've been to. He says 5.56 is what he was looking at. Check out Spender Precision's website. I'm sure they have one.
So I personally, for 5.56, I'm a fan of 10.5-inch and 11.5-inch barrels. If you're going to go for a pistol,
he said he wanted a 7-inch. And I'll tell you,
if you're going to if you're going to do 7-inch, that would be good for the 9mm.
Or blackout.
Blackout would also be good but I'll be perfectly honest with you. Unless you're a reloader or you got money coming out your ears for bullets, I'd stay away from 300 blackout.
Yeah, I've got 2 300 blackouts, and I barely ever get to shoot them because they're so expensive. I've got some. Eggleston Munitions makes a polymer coated projectile for that you can still load and they'll cycle. You know, you don't have to load them real hot, obviously, but yeah, I agree with what you're saying. It's an expensive path to go down.
And if you're going to go with a 9mm AR style pistol, I recommend staying away from the Glock lowers unless you're going to go high dollar with it. The Colt pattern mags or the Colt pattern lowers are just a little bit more reliable. I've seen a lot less people have to finick with them. Adding a ramp or some other dumb modification. So the Colt pattern lowers are pretty good to go. But like I said, you can go with the Glock lower or the Glock mag compatible lower if you spend the money and get a good one.
Right. So, okay. So, he said 7-inch 9mm or 9mm 7-inch 9mm. Yeah. The 9mm for your daughter might not be a bad idea. Because I'll tell you what, the 7-inch and the 5.56, I have a 7.5-inch AR pistol, which I actually don't have it on me because it's at Applied Arsenal Finishes and Gunworks getting some stuff done to it with Cerakote work. But that's got a nice concussive blast. Can't even talk right, but basically it's you get a lot of sound out of that one. And you lose a lot of velocity going with a 7-inch or 7.5-inch barrel on an AR build for sure. Which, by the way, if you are looking, I'll see if I can screen share this one. And let me see if I can pull it
I would
here.
also recommend if you're building a 9mm AR, check out the buffer system is critical with that. So check out the tunable buffer system from Tacom.
Yep.
None of us are sponsored by Tacom. We're all friends with Tim, the guy, the president of Tacom. The guy is always manufacturing great stuff. So that PCC recoil buffer that he has, if you don't spend money on the whole thing, you try to make it a budget build, spend money on that buffer system. It'll certainly help with the recoil because 9mm pistols, especially in the AR platform, will recoil harder than a 5.56.
Speaking of the 9mm pistol builds, because that's what I've already got my 9mm pistol caliber carbine built, which has a TACOM, whatever, muzzle brake on it. One of my favorite muzzle brakes. Just the design of it's pretty cool. I want to build a 9mm, kind of like a truck gun type thing, like a real short barrel 9mm carbine. I've got a DR Guns lower for it. I've been thinking about getting one of these like 4.5-inch barrels in 9mm, just for something really small, really compact version of it. Maybe even like a side folder type style with a pistol brace or one of those like pistol braces that collapses up real nice and tight. I forget what's SP Tactical maybe. I forget who makes the newest one that I saw that I'm trying to think of the name of. But Spinner Precision's got a lot of options on barrels. Check them out. They're really good people. Nice product, good value for the money and everything. Tell you a little bit of a story, just the background. I mentioned it before, but just to kind of reiterate it. The whole way that this kind of came about is the owner of this company. He's been in the machining business for some time, I guess. And back in like around 2012, when there was this whole, potential assault weapons ban type thing going on, and people were buying up magazines and bolt carrier groups and all types of things were not available to be found anywhere because everything was bought up. He was trying to buy a bolt carrier group for one of his rifles, and some place he saw was like trying to gouge people for like $300 for a bolt carrier group just to get one because they had it in stock. And he's like, "This sucks. I'm gonna make my own." So he made his own, and
sounds like cheaper than dirt.
Yeah, it could have been cheaper than dirt, jack up prices, and so he never wanted to do that, to people. So this is my understanding of the story, anyway. So he opted to start making these products available right to the consumer, and making that a good value to people. So I definitely recommend it. Definitely, because go sign up for their emails, because they have deals like almost, it seems like almost daily or every couple days they'll have a deal. Like I want to say it was like around $100 or something like that for 100, I forget, 100 and 115 bucks. I forget what the deal was now again. This barrel that we just bought for Laura's setup, they had a flat wire spring, buffer spring, the muzzle brake, and the barrel. And I want to say it was around $100 for the whole setup, somewhere around there with shipping included. Maybe a little bit more. I might be a little bit off on that, but it wasn't terrible. It was a pretty fair deal. Which some of those sales are not necessarily advertised on their website. They'll send you a link in an email, and you can find them there. I've got a bunch of their barrels. My AR-10's got their barrel and bolt carrier group in it, and I've got the 9mm barrel, and what else? I got a whole bunch of them. I even got a 7.62x39 barrel from them that I still need to get a bolt carrier group to go with because I want to build a 7.62x39 AR just for the hell of it, just to have a different variant. But yeah, here's a 16-inch stainless steel barrel for $89.99, or a mid-length gas system, 16-inch barrel for $79.99. Actually, I got another one for $69.99. It's just a NATO style 16-inch 1/8 twist barrel. You need an inexpensive barrel. It's a nice option. So, and they've also been getting into the lock parts too, by the way, for those out there. I also caught this too that was interesting. They had this finned barrel they just kind of came out with where it's got like fins near the chamber, like vertical fins. Kind of an interesting setup. They got a 4.5-inch 9mm barrel like that for like $80 too.
What do the fins accomplish exactly?
I guess just cooling for like around the chamber, I guess. I don't know. Something different. Maybe it's just for style points. I don't know. I haven't gotten to talk to him about it, but my thought is part of that I think could be covered by the barrel nut. So I don't know. I'm sure they have some type of science behind it or idea behind it.
It's either cooling or rigidity.
Yeah, I mean it's a short barrel, so I could imagine that the rigidity would be a factor. But they're not like longitudinal.
Which I mean,
I can't speak.
It's what, a 4.5-inch barrel. I don't think it really needs. So it's probably cooling.
That's what I was gonna say. Right, exactly. And the fins aren't running with the length of the barrel; they're running like horizontally to it, or vertically to it, or whatever I call it. I can't speak.
We're getting a question from Second Amendment Patriot. What's an affordable bolt carrier group you recommend in 5.56? All right. So he also asks, also any preferred buffer springs and triggers. Okay. So the buffer spring's easy. Tubbs flat wire. Tubbs flat wire spring, hands down. Or the Geisley 42, I think it's called. That's another good one. Either or is going to reduce that twang you hear in the buffer tube when you fire the gun. Triggers, ALG Defense, Geisley, and I like CMC.
Yeah.
But I like CMC.
Are you talking about just for a 9mm, like a PCC build, or for a regular?
So this is Second Amendment Patriot referencing his 5.56 build. So ALG Defense is actually the, and I'm using this term loosely, but it's their bargain brand for Geisley. Actually, ALG is his wife's initials. So it's not like Formula One race car, it's NASCAR grade. So what you're gonna get like a 4.5-5 pound pool, but it's gonna be nice and crisp. But you're not gonna pay $300 for it like you will some of the other Geisley triggers. ALG.
To answer the bolt carrier group thing too, there was a deal recently I posted up, which is something pay attention to the Facebook if you subscribe to the Facebook page or follow it. DR Guns had a deal just recently where they had blem bolt carrier groups. I think I was like basically $50 a piece. So you buy 2 of them, they had free shipping on $100. I mean, and this is when I say blem, it was some light tool marks that wouldn't affect the operation of it at all. I bought 2 of them, like I said, because it was just an awesome deal. They're nitride coated, really nice. But I don't think you're going to see a lot of blems come off out of their stuff that often. But there's stuff like that, to pay attention to. There's bottom of the barrel bolt carrier groups. I bought some of them. I haven't ridden them hard enough or enough rounds through them to say that, hey, this is good or bad really yet. But I haven't had it fail out of the box, but let's put it that way. Maybe 100 rounds or a couple hundred rounds through them at most.
Yeah, I've got a mil spec with thousands of rounds through it that I've never had a problem with. So the key thing, and I would recommend this with any bolt carrier group. I don't care if it's the top of the line or if it's, some mil spec you get on sale for like $80. Mm-hmm. Whenever you clean your gun, even if you don't clean your gun, take the damn bolt carrier group out and inspect it for cracks.
Right.
That can happen with any carrier group, any of them.
And also be aware too about some people may not know what not have the experience yet, but there's gonna be carbon buildup too that might even have like a crackled look to it or something that might look like a crack. Make sure you clean it thoroughly to be able to tell for sure if you suspect there's an issue with it. But that is a very good suggestion to check it, periodically, just to avoid from having a catastrophic failure on it, no doubt.
Do we cover
there's
the
a
rest
lot of
of
good
his...
options though. Sorry?
I feel like he asked the third question. He asked about triggers, bolt carrier groups, and what else?
And the buffer spring.
Oh, the spring, that's right.
Right.
The Geisley 42.
Yeah, the Geisley 42 is probably the top of the line for what you're looking for. But I have Tubbs flat wire springs in both my competition rifle, my PCC, and my pistol, which you see right there on the wall. And they're never had a problem with them. Now they do have a little bit extra pressure to them. They're like a 10%. The Tubbs flat wires, that is, it's a 10% increase over a standard carbine spring, buffer spring. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's not going to have any real effect on it, but you should know that.
We just got one for like I said, with the Spinner Precision package deal there, which was $94.99 actually, so I was pretty close in the price. I think the shipping might have been $4.99 or something. But I was going to say is that I'm looking forward to trying that out. I want to maybe throw in my competition rifle and see how it sounds. Because from what I'm understanding, from what you were saying, it reduces that pinging or that ring type noise that the spring creates. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I have not tried one yet. Any type of flat wire spring, for that matter, as far as the rifle goes. So I'm curious to find out.
Yeah, I will. I don't use anything else. I actually just built a pistol for my mom, believe it or not. And yeah, it's all I use now. They're not terribly expensive either.
Cool. Well, anyway, I guess we'll wrap things up for tonight. Unless you guys got any final thoughts that you want to mention or anything that I missed or not.
I mean, we're all terrible assholes because Corey really didn't get to say much of anything.
Yeah, he's just sitting there listening to us. He's like, I missed the show, but then he doesn't talk.
Well, when you got a test, what are you going to do?
No, we appreciate having you, Corey. Do you got anything you want to mention before we wrap up?
The last couple of weeks, we haven't done it. You were sick, and we were tired the week before that, and it got me like out of like routine, and it just made me appreciate you and everybody else on here, and missing it, not being able to be on for 2 weeks. It kind of I don't know.
It is definitely fun having a conversation about guns and stuff just for a little while, or once a week. It's a fun thing. So I know that feeling.
Yeah. Today I've got a big test tomorrow morning, so I've just been kind of studying for the test. So I've just been kind of listening while I go through my practice test, and the shooting that happened this morning. That's A+ effort. On that resource officer. So all the bombings and stuff that are going around in Texas too. I mean, that's you know, that's upsetting. I mean, it's, you know, what do you do about that? You know, if you ain't got no leads, you don't know who's doing it. They're just appearing in random places, you know. So there's a lot of things going on in this community that a lot of people are frantic about. I mean, and it's not just attacking the gun community and guns hurting children. I mean, obviously, with what's going on down in Austin, Texas, it's not guns; it's homemade bombs in packages being sent to random places. So there's a lot of bad, deviant things going on around here, and hopefully we get to the bottom of it soon.
So what you're saying is you missed us.
Yeah, pretty much. I just saw you last week, dude. Seriously.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
But you know, I'm trying to figure out if it's a good go-to to like wear like a long blonde wig and have like a separate personality for like a woman's perspective. Like when it's real serious, it's a deep voice, and when it's relaxed, it's like high.
Okay,
it's like, hey.
That's getting a little weird.
Whoa. Where's the mute button? Somebody mute him.
So all of a sudden when he starts talking, this is what we get.
See, and I'm drinking water, so.
Sure.
Oh my.
What?
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
I think he just broke the internet. He broke my channel.
Oh my God! Here comes Hillary.
What?
What? Oh my God.
TJ, we were talking about this earlier. Come on now.
Whoa. What you guys talk about on Snapchat is your business, all right?
Snapchat? Oh, those little prissy filters with ears and puppy dogs or whatever?
Oh God!
You know all about it. I don't.
Yes, you know a little too much about it.
I probably know more about Miley Cyrus than Snapchat, so that's all right.
Hey, Brandon, you got anything you want to mention before you wrap up?
Please not about wigs, Brandon. God.
Yeah, actually, my NRA subscription ran out not too long ago, so I was looking at other alternatives for 2A organizations besides the NRA, and what you guys' opinion on that might be.
GOA.
Yeah, Gunners of America.
Second Amendment Foundation. But here's the deal, man. Re-up with the NRA too, would you? Just don't walk away from it just yet. Listen, I don't agree with everything either.
Kind of spread the love around.
Yeah, yep. SAF, GOA, local organization, whatever state you're in, get on the local level and
that's a great suggestion. Yeah,
you know?
I agree with you on that one too. Like, the whole grassroots type thing. You know, you gotta start where you're at sometimes to kind of push that to get things rolling in your area. So that's a good thought, Brandon.
One other thing, I saw a sign when I was getting my hunting and fishing license just recently too at Walmart that they're only gonna sell to folks that are over 21. So I let them a couple of expletives out and let them know how I felt about that. I'm gonna start buying my stuff somewhere else. And then luckily I had a friend that was with me, and he's like, what do you care? You're not 21. I mean, you're over 21. And I explained to him in front of some other people, yeah, but what about the people, 18, 19-year-old married couple in the middle of the ghetto, because that's all they can afford, or they're supposed to throw rocks at the crack dude that's breaking in their door. So
who has a gun, by the way?
Exactly. It's just, yeah, I agree that whole thing with the age limit being raised up. I mean, yeah, 18 years old, leave it, leave it there. Why do this? The whole 21 years old type thing. Yeah, it's 3 years later. We can send people off to go fight our wars for these rights, but we can't allow them to do that here at home. I mean, come on. So anyway, I'm going to wrap things up for tonight. Appreciate you all out there watching on YouTube. Again, going to give a quick shout out to everybody that we saw out there tonight. We had Second Amendment Patriot watching, Ghost Tactical, which is our friend Trey, and who else we got? I know we had someone else. I'm looking. Squibload was out there watching as well. And oh, cool. Looks like Second Amendment Patriot actually sent I think he did like a donation to the channel or something, possibly. So it was like this $5 thing. Well, thank you for that. That's awesome. Appreciate the support. Yeah, I didn't notice that. I don't know if you guys could see that or not. He said, buy a few rounds on me and post it up. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you. I don't even know how that feature works. That's the first time we had someone donate something through one of the chats on YouTube. So that's really cool. So yes, thanks. And yeah, you all have a good night. And as always, hopefully we'll be back next week again. And as always, have fun shooting.